So we have another day, another dilemma. And so this is something that I figured would be kind of a quick and easy, possibly funny, definitely gross video. So I just left getting some more lab work done. They drew more blood, and that happens a lot with my disease. And then they asked me for a stool sample. And so I have to fill this up, and there's two of them. I have another one here in the bag. So if you're like me, you're looking at this wondering how exactly you're going to get some product, so to speak, into the little cup. And I know my aim's not that good. So in the hospital, they have these things they call cowboy hats or hats that are little bowls that fit into the bowl so that you can relieve yourself into the bowl, and then they come scoop it up and take it away. Well, there's nobody here at my house who's going to come scoop this up and take it away. So I need to figure out how to get it into the sample jar so I can get it back to the lab. And the last time I did this, I devised a little plan that seemed to work out well. It's really gross, and we're not going to show it. Believe me, we're definitely not going to show this. But this is my plan. It's a little bit harder because they don't want it to be cross-contaminated with either toilet water or urine. So they want it to be as contaminant-free because they're testing it. So how do we get it into our little sample jar? So with that said, party plates are your new friend because I don't have any of the official cowboy hats. So you use a party plate to catch your product, which, you know, is a little bit difficult because there's not a lot of room between you and the plate. So it involves a little bit of manual dexterity and some flexibility and a lot of patience, but it works, and it's really not that hard. If you can get to the pharmacy and pick up those little cowboy hats, I think there's a few of them. You get a couple of them for like 11 or 12 bucks. I'm not certain. And I don't know if all pharmacies carry. We might have to go to a specialty pharmacy, like the ones that you find right near the hospital that tend to carry a little more of the stuff that you use in supplies for home health care. So I think you might be a little more successful at a pharmacy like that versus CVS or Rite Aid, which we have around here. So I've got my plastic plate. This is coated in plastic. That's important because there still is, in feces, there's liquid, so you don't want it to be just paper. So you want to have a plastic or plastic coated plate. It's not going to be on here long, but if you have just a paper plate, it's going to suck. And of course, you don't want to use your dinner plates. That's kind of gross. So once we have a plate full of poo, and we need to put it in here, how do we do that? Well, after that, spoons are our next best friend. Really gross, but trust me, this is the easiest way to do it because trying to scoop it up, it just doesn't work. It makes a giant mess on this, and the person down at the lab doesn't want to be touching your poo. So, because you're going to have to play with it enough as it is. So, spoons, paper plate, and then you stick it into your sample jar. Make sure that you fill out the card on the sample jar. So I'm not going to show you any of that stuff, but yeah, that's pretty gross. So anyhow, that's how I do it. There's other ways to do it, but this is just, it works for me. It's cheap. I didn't have to go stand in line anywhere to buy anything, especially when I didn't feel like doing it. So we'll let you know how this goes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we'll take a pause here for a little bit, and on we go. So here's a point that I wanted to make before you go to do anything with your samples. This is just one of those things that make your life a little bit easier. You have to write your name on here, and there's not a lot of room. You can see it's not very big. If this is filled with product, it's kind of gross, so I would advise doing it before you do it. Okay, so just help you out there. It's really sick. Okay, bye. This whole video is sick.
So I've got my supplies and I'm ready to go. Let's go take care of business. Right? Okay, here we go.
So that's it. It's done, and it's honestly, it's not a pleasant thing to do, but it's necessary. I've had to do it a few times, and that's why I'm making this video. I ran into issues on how to collect samples to turn them back in. So since I had to do it today, since I'm going through all this, and this seems to be the topic that keeps coming up, well, I just showed how to collect a stool sample at home when you don't have anybody to help you. And it is gross. It's totally gross. But little tricks to keep you from being grossed out. A little bit of vapor rub underneath your nose, because guess what? Poo smells, you have to deal with it. And then because I don't want to walk around with a clear plastic bag with my poo samples in it, I stick them in here, right? I don't have to look at it. People don't have to look at it. It's a little more discreet when you walk in with it. And, you know, and like I've been saying, think about how much you didn't want to do this and it belongs to you. The poor person down at the lab gets to do this all day. And that's just really one way to keep it in perspective, that if they can do it all day, you can do it just once every now and then. So, all right, so I hope this was actually helpful, and that's the whole point of this, is to take away the stigmatization of having to talk about and do these things, of course, and, you know, just to lighten it up and put a little humor in it. And I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope somebody found something in this video that helps them, and I will talk with you all soon. Take care. Bye.